This video is about the new style HAKKA and the question if it will or will not destroy Volleyball Legends. What could be changed and will it have a similar downfall as Blue Lock rivals back when they released their limited rarity? I am Lucky from Netblox and on each 1k subs I do a big giveaway. We hit 25k subs recently, so there will be a big giveaway being announced in my next video. For 26k subs, there's currently 800 missing. Would be awesome if you could be one of them. But now let's get into the topic. HAKKA. The first ever new Ultra Rarity has been released last Saturday, and we've seen a lot of different opinions about that style from players, creators, and even Volleyball Legends staff ever since release. For the small percentage of people that might have missed this update, here's a quick breakdown. HAKKA allows you to basically hack inside the game. You can teleport yourself by creating a clone, not only giving you a huge advantage on positioning, but also giving you a free extra touch. The style is connected to a mastery that is not just giving you cosmetics, as on the other styles so far, it actually makes HAKKA even stronger. A little side note here, if you were to buy all the masteries instead of playing for them, you would probably end up paying between $50 and $100 on a style that, if you would buy the spins, would cost you $330 max to get it guaranteed outside of the 2x luck event. So guys, you shouldn't buy any spins, okay? And don't buy the masteries. You could however try to become a content creator, as you will simply get all that for free. So you might better go and do videos about the game. Back to the masteries. On Mastery 1, your charging speed of the clone is increased. Means every time you set, bump or dive for a ball, your bar now fills a tiny bit faster. Mastery 2 makes your clone get a max block, and to be honest I don't really understand that buff at this point, but maybe you guys know, or it's a new tech that hasn't been discovered yet? Well, Mastery 3 is just cosmetics, but on Mastery 4 the style really starts becoming overpowered. The position and extra touch was not enough, so we just get max spike now, which I think is crazy strong, but Mastery 5 even tops it off with having a second clone. Okay, so this is crazy strong, and the mode this is really broken on is 1v1. To be honest, I kind of hate that mode, because many styles get heavily limited in their actions, especially when it comes to serves. Imagine you pull the TSO as your only secret, and then you can't use the serve in 1v1, or the twins. Or you simply practiced serving techniques and you can't use them. Well, now you might think, it's the same chances for all styles, isn't it? So, why is HAKKA different now? Well, look at this. And now look at this.
That's super, oh my god.
So, we take away all special serves, but HAKKA? No problem, he can just do whatever. Now, I know it's definitely not impossible and not even hard to block it, but still, where are the same chances now? Why is TSO getting restricted and HAKKA is not? Another thing is, even a Mastery 0 HAKKA is already very strong in 1v1, as you simply can outplay any blocker. At least if you got your clone up, but again, that's not too hard if you can get free dives on any serve. But if you see a Mastery 5 HAKKA doing this stuff and you're all alone on your side, well, good luck. So, HAKKA is quite broken in 1v1, but what about the other modes? I tried HAKKA in duos and even HAKKA in 6v6, and I think this style is really outstanding, even on Mastery 1. And I also played solo queue on duos, and well, what can I say, I just made it to Diamond yesterday on HAKKA. But here's what I really dislike about the update. They announced it as the big update, and indeed, the style is crazy and adding a new rarity may or may not be a good decision, but we get to that later. But on a big update, I would also expect big codes. I had an interesting comment conversation below Tevin's latest video, which is by the way a very cool video, you should check it out. But I basically criticized the core idea of the video, as it implies that he's getting all secrets in just 5 hours, which is something a lot of you guys are dreaming of. Vira commented something which I found very interesting. He described the situation back in Season 0, but also highlighted that the devs already made a lot of things to give free-to-play players more chances to get styles and also gifting them free style slots. And yes, back then we didn't have 10 spins per update or free spins every few minutes. We even had no pity. And when it finally came, they haven't been halved on updates. We also didn't have level rewards, so it was really hard getting lucky spins, but here is the point. Back then, we only had one single secret that was superior to all other styles back then, which was Sanju. But having a godly Butoku, Kagayomo, or even a legendary style like Uchikai already put you on the top tier list back then. And all of those styles were easily accessible with just normal spins, which was simply farmable by playing. Then they added more and more secrets. The godlies and legendaries completely vanished from the top tier lists, and with that, the chance of using normal spins to get a top tier style. While it is theoretically possible, I didn't ever get a single secret style from a normal spin. And I'd guess that I spent like 300 to 500,000 yen during my time in this game. I know some of you got lucky and pulled a secret by that. That's good for you, I'm happy for you, but will you get more secrets with that, and how many haven't been that lucky? So, in conclusion, back then you didn't get as much lucky spins as today, that's true, but back then you could get the top tier stuff with just normal spins, which is no longer possible, and with the last Saturday update, they made it even worse. Secrets will become the new godlies, making them slowly vanish, and the ultras being the new top tier styles. And pities aren't halved anymore, because the ultra pity is double the secret pity. We are back to where we started, guys. But with the big difference now, you are even more unlikely to pull the top tier styles with your normal spins, making the use of lucky spins even more inevitable. To be fair, this is a brilliant move from the devs. I have to admit, I don't know if Protori is deciding about that stuff, but this is a business mastermind at work. So hats off and cheers to the one that made that move. But before we get into the final conclusion, let me clarify. You can, even today, win on a regular common Hinto against any secret or ultra style. There is no real need for such a style, as in the end, skill is above everything else, and above every ability. Awareness and positioning makes 90% of the game, but in the end, it is a game. And games are supposed to be fun. And I fear that people will lose the fun and joy if they have to defend impossible twin serves, Jinko backspins, magnetic pull TSHs, and now hacker clones over and over and over again, while simply not getting the chance to have the same joy themselves, sitting there on every update hoping to just get any secret at this point. So my final conclusion, let's start with Hakka. Hakka is honestly a really fun to play character because you get a whole new world to explore. Ability combinations you can try, new mechanics to discover that aren't yet discovered, and also dominating in ranked as people are still learning how to position themselves against Hakka. It is overpowered at this point, and people are fearing that the devs won't nerf him, being the Ultra Rarity. My guess on this is they will nerf him, even though it's an Ultra Rarity, especially in 1v1. But I'm just excited to see if they will patch it on this Saturday, or if they wait until you can't pull for Hakka anymore, which they kind of usually do, which I don't like. But my suggestion is, for 1v1, take off all style restrictions, or restrict or even ban Hakka in 1v1, as the style is simply an auto counter to any other style in that mode. For Hakka in general, take away Max Spike and the second clone. I think that is way too broken. I'm currently playing Mastery 1 Hakka, and I think that already allows some cool new tags and is fun to play while not being too overpowered. You rather should add a new Shadow Clone secret ability, so that all other styles could basically do the same. And combined with Hakka, you now can have the double clone. The free-to-play gap. As elaborated before, it's super hard to get those fun styles as a free-to-play player nowadays. Yes, you can win on any style, but it's about having fun and also being part of experiencing the new fun stuff. This kind of gatekeeping happening right now is good for the wallet and of course also for the content creators like me. Not gonna lie, I benefit from doing this video that you, as a viewer, probably clicked because you feel that the new Ultra Rarity is killing the game, and it is very fair to think so. But what we saw from the devs so far is they already reacted to it. The new event already has been announced and they promise to give you a new challenge to earn free rewards, whatever that means. Maybe it's lucky spins, hopefully. But will it truly solve the problem here? Is giving away a $3 style slot worth a compensation for a max $330 style when you just get common to godly styles with normal spins anyhow? Or even the wrong secret style with the limited amount of lucky spins you got? And what will keep the devs from simply adding another rarity in a few months and starting the same problem again? So a few suggestions. You could enable a feature to play and try all secrets or ultras in practice mode. That way, people can really check out what style they'd like to spin for and also being part of the new fun experience, while not being able to use them in ranked or public games. It wouldn't cost you a cent, the people would be happy, and I think it would even increase purchases being made. Another suggestion is more lucky spins, and I already suggested this back when I was in the content creator program, which I, by the way, applied for again. Let's see if they will let me in. But something that'd be super beneficial for creators, the game, and the free-to-play players would be custom lucky spin codes for top creators. Back when I made that suggestion, 2 weeks after, Praetori himself used the idea for his own video, right after a manager told me to direct this idea to a higher up, while creators didn't get any code. This may or may not have been a weird coincidence, but the idea is still good, in my opinion. Even if it's just one spin per creator. If they watch 10 creators, they'd get 10 more free-to-play lucky spins, which would be great for everyone. Of course, those are spins that are potentially being bought less, but let's be real, the people that watch our videos have no money to buy spins. Otherwise, they just play the new styles themselves, rather than watching this yap video here. So I honestly don't believe you would lose much money by such a simple marketing move. The downside, that code would need to change for every update, means it's more effort to manage that stuff, but come on, it's such a simple and effective idea. Next suggestion. I personally think ultras are a cool thing, and I see no problem in adding more of them or even higher styles. But please, devs, Praetori, be open about how you plan on proceeding with that stuff. I remember back with TSK and TSH where devs made some statements like, "We don't know if they ever come back again." You intentionally made them look like they were exclusives to boost the sales, while I already back then was pretty sure they'd return because all you worked on was to create a rotation system to spin for styles similar as Genshin or other gacha games. Talking about Genshin Impact and copyright issues on certain anime, what's going on here? Anyways, but I highly suggest and recommend that you, devs and Praetori specifically, do update videos where you tell the public what's going on and what you guys plan next. I think transparency is the key to keep this game successful. On a business perspective, you are doing a very, very good job. I feel like the average person is just being intentionally left in the dark to urge their moms and dads to buy lucky spins just one time to get that all so exclusive style. Now a topic many of you are talking about. Will Volleyball Legends now die off the same as Blue Lock Rivals? The short answer is no, I don't think so. And there's a few things you need to consider and compare here. First of all, Blue Lock Rivals ever since relied on styles that did crazy insta-win mechanics. I just played it for 1 hour, so I can't tell too much, and who knows, maybe I'll check it out someday again, but there have been styles that could score goals with the press of a button from the middle line. Is it called like that? I don't know. Everyone that played football, or soccer for the Americans, knows that this is a thing that basically never happens, with very few exceptions. Yet in Blue Lock Rivals it is a thing that happens each game, and Volleyball Legends has never, and probably won't ever, do a press button to score thing. Some people feel it is like that with the clones or magnetic pull, but truth being told is that it often simply doesn't work, or you hit the ball out, or it's even buggy and you miss it. Whatever. There is no insta-win mechanic, and that's a big difference from Volleyball Legends to basically all other comparable sports games. And that's why I give this theory a no for now. Also, when you look at active player charts for both games, you can see that Volleyball Legends is even peaking right now, which is a very, very good sign. We just have to wait if they can hold it. On the other side, we see Blue Lock Rivals that long surpassed its peak when adding the new limited highest style. So that was kind of more like a test to get the game back to life. And yes, it kind of did it worse, but I don't think the limited style was the problem. And so it won't on Volleyball Legends. In the end, Volleyball Legends is and will stay mostly about skill. Ranked and really fun to play new styles are what keeping Volleyball Legends alive. But can it be more fun? Is there stuff we can learn from the downfall of Blue Lock Rivals? So, some more ideas. A vanilla mode. First of all, I think Blue Lock Rivals is struggling because it's losing more and more quality of football gameplay, or soccer for the Americans. And we see signs of that on Volleyball Legends as well. While we don't have insta-win buttons, we have teleporting or magneting people, which is already far from real volleyball. To some extent this is fun and enjoyable, but it is not for everyone. The hardcore mode was a first step into the right direction, but it's not completely thought through. Why do you need an antenna rule if you got a style that simply can curve around the antenna, just as an example? Also, all public lobbies are just total chaos and hardcore is no difference. So maybe they should add a vanilla mode that disables or nerfs the secrets and ultras to a point where they are just as good as godlies, and without any abilities. This mode would purely rely on skill, and if it would be a ranked mode, it could be another option to earn lucky spins as rank rewards. The next idea is a banning system. Many games have that system, and maybe it could be an option to balance ranked in Volleyball Legends too. A system that lets you ban certain styles before even playing. That way you can simply deactivate getting matched with a hacker, for instance. Monitoring those banning statistics also will help the devs to find out which styles definitely need to be nerfed. Another idea is casual gaming overhaul. Some people don't like ranked and beginners can't even play ranked, but I think casuals, pro servers or even hardcore are no option to really enjoy the quality the game has. Volleyball Legends is, compared to other Roblox volleyball games and even compared to volleyball games outside of Roblox, one of the best games in my opinion. The movement feels very good, while it is easy to learn and overall it's just a lot of fun. But I think the potential is being wasted by entering public lobbies where each and everyone is simply aping every ball. So the first thing new players should face when joining this game is a very quick tutorial on learning the basics, showing them how to set, bump, dive, spike and serve. Also, why is the advanced moves a level 5 feature? That makes no sense to me. People usually just quick press the button anyways, which would be full power, so instead, activate it from the beginning and showcase it in the tutorial. And after that, they could maybe get the decision to switch it off or keep it active. And after completing that, they should be thrown into a public 2v2 or 3v3 lobby. Maybe even dedicated servers as in ranked, but with just playing till 10 points or something, without an actual rank of course. But the public experience is horrible in my opinion, and I'ma be real. If I was to join this game nowadays, I would immediately quit it. So make it more accessible for beginners, because it is easy to learn, and I believe that the game could really benefit from keeping new players in the game with that. And after finishing all that, there should be the possibility to queue for unranked modes, similar to ranked, as, yeah, publics are simply horrible, in my opinion. Next on my list is game modes. Remember Spleef? I think that was a very cool idea but poorly executed. Like, why could we just spawn balls and randomly spike them as if we were in practice? That game had no real rules to follow, and I feel like it's been a lot of wasted potential. The idea itself is very similar to Rocket League's drop shot, and I would have wished for Spleef to be more similar. To actually play volleyball with just one ball, and when it goes down, the tile breaks. Hitting there again will result in a score and resetting the opponent's side, or both sides. If a player falls into it, he would be on a respawn timer. It could have been so easy to make it a more thrilling experience. The Wizards game mode thing was kind of stupid, not gonna lie. You had to grind hours for one potion that gave you a buff for a short amount of time. The idea behind it was quite funny, but execution was horrible in my opinion. Games like League of Legends have similar modes where you just have crazy abilities and super low cooldowns and stuff like that. Why not going for more like this? Also, there could be game modes that are way more creative. Maybe even ideas that combine, I don't know, Squid Game elements with volleyball, making the game even more accessible to other target groups. I got a lot of ideas for that actually, so if you want to talk, I'm here. Next on the list is quality of life improvements. We've seen a lot already, but if I read correctly, the devs are working on a system to change servers if people are on high ping. And I think ever since season 2, ping became more and more of a problem. I know it's nothing much the devs can do about, and I believe them. But there's ways to work on that, and I was about to suggest something which, if I understood correctly, they will implement on next Saturday already, which is a button or a poll you can do on the server to altogether decide for switching the server. I experienced that many times, that I've been matched with EU people while being EU myself, and we've all been placed on US servers, resulting in all of us having bad ping. So having the option to just reconnect to a new server might be a fix. Not the best one, but the best we can get at this point. Another quality of life thing, get some more staff into the report server. I had 3 games against hackers in the last 2 days, and each time I tried creating a ticket, it said the list of reports is full and I should wait. I assume that there's a maximum threshold of tickets that can be opened, and then support staff has to manually check all the stuff and ban people. This is how it usually works, but if this list is constantly full, the Volleyball Legends devs should hire more people to do that job, because it's really annoying going through high ping servers, finally ending up on a good ping and then playing against an actual cheater with no chance to report him. I assume most of the tickets don't even have video proof on it, which just takes away time of support to deal with the tickets. So maybe there's an option to have a bot filtering the tickets with no links or proof attached, or at least giving an auto response that proof is needed. Maybe that already exists, I can't tell at the moment. Okay, next thing is more buttons inside of a ranked game. We should also get the option to switch abilities inside of a game too. Sometimes when I solo queue, my random mate has a style that's not compatible with what I wanted to play, so I switch my style, but then I'm stuck on the ability I wanted to play with my other style. So just add a button to change abilities. Another thing would be in the main menu settings, it would be nice to have the option to turn off or on the advanced moves. It happens quite often that I'm in practice mode to record an intro and then I want to set to give me some kind of talking animations. But then you see the power bar on the side, and then you have to go into a casual game to switch off the advanced moves and then go back into practice and do it all over. I know it's nothing important, but having the option inside the settings would be peak. The last thing on my list is get me back into the content creators program and let me actually talk with higher ups. I am someone who cares about the opinion of the small people and who tries to make everyone happy to some extent. I know I have been heavily criticizing the money aspect of Volleyball Legends, and I'm still doing it, while returning to it myself because of money reasons. That has and is not a very good move on my part, but I try to be as transparent as possible about it. And in the end, I think that's what people care about. They don't want to hear a big update is coming, while it's just a big update for a really small amount of players. So, let's talk, guys. Alright, this has been a long yap. And if you watched it till here, thank you very much. Quick reminder on subscribing to this channel because yeah, more giveaways and the next one will be announced in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye guys. The free to play gap. While it is theoretically possible, he described the situation back in Season 0, but my suggestion for nerfing him is another suggestion is Next suggestion. 330 style, 330 is giving away a $3 style slot worth a compensation for a max $330 style, something that be super beneficial for creators, so I honestly don't believe probably click because you feel that the probably click